Hi, art seekers. We are here with the Evandalist, somebody that I greatly admire. Super excited to get to talk to you.
Yeah.
So, first off, how did you find your way to street art?
So when I was younger, my brother actually did like a lot of graffiti back where I grew up. So I think just kind of like watching him constantly sketching in his notepad and but he would like tag and like do menacing things, which I don't do. And I just grew up constantly creating or like building things or painting or whatever. So I think, yeah, that kind of started it for me. And then I came out here and I did this little like King of Hearts thing, and it's like Jesus' head kind of flipped one way and the other, and it's like a King of Hearts, like a playing card. And I was like, oh, this would be cool to stencil around for people to see. So then I got all the materials, started carving this little King of Hearts stencil. But I kind of did it, I mean, it was like this big and it's like really detailed, and I took it out and did a few sprays and then it broke, and I was like, oh, great. So I was kind of like learning, and but yeah, that's kind of how I got into it and got started with it.
And how did you come up with your moniker, the Evandalist?
My dad is a pastor, so I'm a preacher's kid. He's an evangelist, a pastor. He goes out, preaching, and we do a lot of missions work overseas. So he's an evangelist, and it's like evangelist. And then I was just at home, and I think I was trying to come up with a name. I was talking to my sister's boyfriend at the time, and I was like, yeah, it's like I'm a vandal, but it's like I'm an evangelist. And he's like, and he goes, oh, and it's like it hit him too, but I'm like, evangelist. And he's like, no, I was going to say that. I came up with that. I was like, no, you didn't. I was like, I came up with that. I'm like, I could see his face was like, and I said it before him. He was like, no, I take credit for that. I'm like, no way. So that's how it came about.
Now, if you have a lot of spirituality in your upbringing, is it difficult somehow to reconcile working on the street and doing something that some do consider vandalism and also being so personally faithful?
Yeah, definitely. And I think I have my own kind of guide, and my own sort of, there's certain things I won't do. Like if I'm out with Thrashbed, sometimes he'll be doing something like, don't eat, or he'll be like, I wouldn't do, I'm like, don't even think about it. We try not to desecrate people's property, and I definitely would never do that. But sometimes it's like an abandoned building, it's different things. It's like, and I sort of like, I'll ask him about the building or like whoever, and I'll make sure that it's not something that's, I don't know, going to cause a lot of damage. And I don't want to ever do anything that's just a complete mess, like doing like got love and like little love things. I'm like, yeah, it makes people happy. They see it and they smile, and it's not like I'm trashing their property. So I kind of have my own like guidelines of things I will and won't do. And I mean, I suppose the whole thing really is a little gray area. Growing up as a preacher's kid, there's an element of like, people constantly thinking you're a certain way, so you got to try and behave, you got to be good, you got to like, you're like, everyone's watching you in a sense. So I feel like it's my own little way of like, there's just something in me that has to constantly be doing something mischievous or something rebellious.
I think that what you're doing is probably more similar to what your dad's doing than might be immediately obvious, because if you're a pastor, it's about communicating your beliefs. Yeah. And as a street artist, it's all about communicating a message as well.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like it's my own kind of way of preaching in a sense, but without actually preaching and without like shoving it in people's faces, that they can be like, oh, this is cute, like got love. And I know some people think it's cheesy, and sometimes I'm like, sure it is, but it's also like, it's like a cute little milk bottle, and it's just a cute little reminder. You're walking down the street, and then I would hope that like some people would tag it or whatever, and like come look at my Instagram and then see some of the other like positive messages I'll put up and be like, oh, this is more than just some little gimmicky thing. It's like, oh, this person, they've got something to say.
You mentioned that a lot of people don't know your gender, and since you're anonymous, they don't know too much about you. Have people been surprised when they found out that you're a woman? No spoilers. I know you can't see with your little monkish hood.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, I constantly have people like private messaging me on Instagram, like, hey man, you want to do a collab, or hey dude, like love your stuff. And everyone refers to me constantly as a guy, and I don't mind, because you know, I like that. It's surprising when I do meet someone, they're like, what, really? I'm like, yeah, like girls can do this too, you know, it's cool. But I kind of like that people just don't know, and I like that it's, you know, it's just this anonymous person. It's just kind of out there, and like, who cares who's behind it? It's just,
Agreed.
you know, it's about the message.
How did you come up with the got love idea?
Obviously, it's like the got milk. It's like a play on that. But I think it kind of just came to me. Like a lot of my ideas, I was like, because I've got a few sketches in my book, and they're just like, and I had other ideas of like the milk carton, like half full and like pouring out into like a love shape and stuff. And then I was like, it needs to be simple. So I was like, you know, just put a little love heart on it. And a lot of my stencils have a little cross in here as well, but it gets full of paint real quick, so it doesn't always show up. But I like that sometimes it's just got the faint little thing there, so some people that are looking for it, they're like, oh, maybe this is like got something to do with that. And then the others are just like, they just appreciate it for what it is.
My takeaway from it is that got milk is so much about sustaining your body, and love is about sustaining your soul.
Yes.
And so you kind of combine the two.
Yeah, I love that, definitely. I think like the most important thing in this world is love, but not like a romantic or lustful love or anything like a lot of people try to spin on it. It's an unconditional love that it's like someone might do wrong to you, but you love them anyway because you don't know what their background is. You don't know what their story is. You don't know what they've been through. And you could make the same mistakes as them. Like, you're no different to them. And for me, I'm just like, I just constantly pray that I would be able to love people the way that I believe God loves them. And yeah, I'm just like, I work on that every day. And I want people to know that like they are loved no matter what, unconditionally. And if they can just kind of get a revelation of that or like encounter that love, it's like it changes your world.